Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shri Gurudev.
Okay, we continue our discussion on Bhakti Dhira Damodara leadership book, leadership for an age of higher consciousness. And for some time now, we have been looking into this primary topic, conflict. We have looked at different categories of conflict. We look at the many ways to handle the conflict. And we're also looking at the qualifications for the devotees who are willing to or who are facilitating the conflict resolution. So Gurudev gave different techniques, technologies for dealing with conflict individually, collectively, communally, globally, and also the conflict priest is ordained by the Supreme Lord, by providence. So Gurudev had given different technologies how to deal with all of them. They're perfect examples to illustrate the previous incidences, the personalities involved, and how they handled everything. So we can also follow the same thing because our system is that of Parampara. So last week we were looking at the qualifications for the facilitators. And today we'll continue. We'll continue with the same thing. So Gurudev has given 6 elements of the conflict resolution. 6 elements for conflict resolution. So today we'll go through it to add to the list of the things we already have. And Gurudev explained the actual process of conflict resolution, according to this model, includes 6 fundamental elements. 6 fundamental elements. Starting with a centering process, maintaining a service perspective, clarifying the need of all parties, understanding all viewpoints, moving towards cooperative problem solving, and expressing divine love and will. And it depends on the circumstances. One may use to serve as a facilitator yourself, or can invite others to play this role. It could be possible that the leader himself or herself will facilitate, depending on the situation, the circumstances. But the qualification is the most important thing. Without the qualification, either one facilitate himself or herself, or you call someone else to come and do the facilitation. Without the qualification, there is no success. It will simply increase the conflict. Therefore, we have to look very carefully at the qualifications for the facilitator, as we discussed last week. So here, today we were looking at this 6 elements for conflict resolution. 1, Starting with the centering process. Centering process. Facilitators may begin each section with a period of bonding that allows for centering, prayer, meditation, or reflection, and set the tone for the exchanges that are to follow. Facilitators take this time themselves to dedicate the process and each outcome to the highest good of all concerned, and to ask for divine help and guidance throughout the meeting. In addition, they ask to be reminded of the Lord's presence if they forget it at any time. So, before we begin any activity, we do this regularly as devotees. A devotee begins all our activities by invoking auspiciousness. When you're writing books, see our chariots, they follow this. Our chariots, they give blessings, they seek for blessings, and they give glory to the Supreme Lord or His different energy, appreciation for everything. So in all our activities, we must begin with auspiciousness, like we do. Offer obeisances to the spiritual master, to the parampara, the deities which we worship, the holy name, invoking their blessings upon, and also offering blessings to, for example, to the readers. This you see throughout Srimad Bhagavatam, Gita Samrita, other books. Before we start giving a class, we have to invoke the blessing from us and other chariots, just there, so the goddess of living. Now you see the super human being. We see the blessing. Similarly, to start the facilitation, one must invoke the blessings of our superiors. As Gurudev said here, facilitators take this time themselves to dedicate the process to its outcome to the highest good of all concerned. Deep in our mind, we are convinced. I cannot say we should be convinced. I'm saying we are convinced because we must be like this first before we can start anything. Otherwise, it is not the facilitation. So we are convinced that we are here to help. We are here to help amend every situation. We're not here to divide. We're here to amend, to make everyone benefit. We already discussed the different understandings about what people consider conflict, how people look at conflict. People look at conflict as a very terrible bad thing. They will always create a bad situation. But those who look at conflict as something, a wonderful opportunity to increase the love for each other, they will also have a better and good perfect result, depending on our approach. Therefore, I'm saying that we are convinced, we are sure that we are gathering here for this purpose. Our duty is to make sure everyone benefits. We are convinced about it. Therefore, we We offer prayer, we have kirtan and chant sometime. Or some in a GBC meeting, we offer good puja to Prabhupada. Offer good puja to Prabhupada. Offer flower to Prabhupada. Then read something, a passage from Prabhupada, from the Prabhupada, the purport for Prabhupada, the quote. So we are beginning it with auspiciousness. So Guru is saying we begin each session with the period bounding that allows for centering prayers, meditations, or reflection, and set the tune for the teachings that are followed. What are the rules we maintain here? We should not attack anybody. If someone says something, yes, we do not attack anybody. We will appreciate and we address the issue, but not attacking it. In this way, everybody feels very comfortable. Oh, I'm secured here. I'm secured with this facilitator or the facilitation. I'm secured. So the mind is open. And when the mind is open, it is almost resolved. Prayers is required. Reflection, thinking deeply about it. Am I sitting here to resolve this issue? I'm sitting here to present my to look only for my own way. I'm not considering other people. Even if they are going to hell, it doesn't matter. The facilitator should help us to be very clear in the concept of mind. Are we sitting here to learn and grow? We are sitting here to share and build a healthy community organization, or we are here to tear apart. The facilitator has the responsibility, the maturity, the ability to establish this principle for everyone to follow. Then we have the mood, we have the potency, we have the blessing to move on. Just like when one has a good car, you know the journey, and you know the auspicious time. It is also very good to know to have knowledge. Auspicious time to start the journey, auspicious time to start the prayer. Chanting is always all the time. Was puja, something auspicious time to do that. Wedding, auspicious time to do that. Everything has to begin with auspicious time. So all the necessary things that are going to make the facilitator or make all the participants benefit, all are put in place so that everything goes well for everybody. We saw Srila Prabhupada as a perfect example. Srila Prabhupada praying to Lord Krishna and Guru Parampara for special things despite the conflicting views of the traveling prophets. Srimati Moralji, the end of the steamship, to Srila Prabhupada. So, Meiji, I cannot allow you to go. You know that I'm not interested to send you, but I am concerned about your life. I'm concerned about your age. America is different from India. The situation is different. You are old man, you will die. Don't go. Don't go. So Prabhupada said to Srimati Muralji, the order of my spiritual master is on my head. And if I'm a disciple, my qualification of being a disciple is to carry out the order of the spiritual master, dead or alive. That is certain. What is it? For a Kshatriya, it is auspicious for a Kshatriya to leave the body fighting. And it is inauspicious for a Kshatriya leaving the body in the hospital. For a Brahmana, for a preacher, for a Vaishnava, it is very auspicious for us to live our body fighting like property, fighting, preaching vigorously every day and night. Harinam, Kirtan, all the time, and leaving the body in the middle of it, preaching Krishna consciousness to proper way. That is auspicious for devotees. Not preaching, not leaving the body in the presence of devotee, in the having kirtan or preaching. It's not auspicious for them. So Prabhupada said, it is better for me to die on duty, even to be by myself. It's better than to leave the body peacefully some years without preaching. It is considered not peaceful, useless. So Prabhupada convinced morality, systematic morality. My dear daughter, you have to allow me to go and do my spiritual duty. Assignment given to me, my spiritual matter. I have to go and do it. Just give me the permission to go. That's what I need from you. Dying anywhere, that is okay. For pure devotee, wherever the pure devotee is, this is in the scripture. This is speaking Dutch. Wherever a sadhu is, that is what? That is Mathura. That is the holy place. Why? Wherever a pure devotee is, all the 9 limbs of bhakti take place. All automatically. All the 5 principal lightnings of bhakti will take place. Srimad Bhagavatam, chanting the holy name, deity worship, living in the Mathura, and having association of devotees. So automatically, the 16 will automatically take place wherever devotee is. So, and that is the holy place. Wherever devotee is, the 9 limbs of bhakti is automatically. There will be chanting and hearing. There will be remembrance of Krishna. There will be service to the Supreme Personality. It's a person who does these things is naturally a friend and a servant to Krishna, and eventually giving everything to Krishna. Everything. It's automatically there. So Prabhupada very sweetly presented everything, and it was peacefully arranged. This systematic morality was not inconvenience. Okay, let me. No, she was very happy. Prabhupada presented everything so nicely, so convincing that she was her heart melted. Okay, Swami, get a ticket, back you go. Wishing you all the best. Success. And Prabhupada went to the hospital. That is the nature of a perfect facilitator. The nature of pure devotee. The pure devotee of Krishna who is concerned about everyone's welfare. Everyone's welfare. Either good or bad. That is the nature. Everybody benefits. So the devotee, wherever he is or she is in Vaikuntha, is in Guru. So Srila Prabhupada resolved this very easy. So we should center everything in Krishna. Second item here is maintaining a service perspective. Maintaining service perspective. Service perspective. Effective conflict resolution requires a shift in perspective. This shift involves understanding and activating one's role as a servant. This shift involves understanding and activating one's role as a servant. In other words, the facilitator's role is to serve everyone participating in the conflict and ultimately to serve God. So this is connected with centering everything in Krishna. We know that we are servants. We cannot go to a servant is not a boss. It's a servant. It's a boss. The servant is different. The boss is different. Servant. A facilitator, every devotee is servant. Servant leader. Servant facilitator. So Krishna is in the center of our activities. A facilitator is very concerned. Is very, very focused, and he's very sure to put everyone focused on this ground. On the ground. Everybody is standing on this ground. We mentioned before in the beginning that whenever there is conflict, wherever there is conflict, the two parties must first of all accept that I contributed to this. Even if you are 100% perfect, pure, even if you are 100% sure you didn't do anything wrong, but because our activity, our action has made someone else feel bad, we are no more right. Therefore, it is my responsibility to contribute. As I contributed to the problem, I should also contribute to the solution by accepting that I have created a situation that is making this person to feel bad. Therefore, I cannot claim my enemy, and my right is gone. First and foremost, we should have this deep, very deep in our mind. So we know we are representing God, dealing with his children. We are representing God, dealing with his children. So we are representing God. We are not all in all. We are representing Krishna. So we are servants. This must be deeply fixed in our minds. Therefore, we know that we are here to serve everyone, not to give order. We are here to serve, taking order. But taking order has to serve, not to give order. Not to give order means that we have to control everybody. You see, everyone has to listen to me. No. We appreciate everyone's contribution, but we make everything very clear so everybody understands. This is why we are here. This is what we are here for, and this is how everything is a formula, the procedure everybody should follow, so that we can have a correct, balanced discussion, and at the end, being successful. Because God is in the center. If all of us are looking at God in everything that we say, everything we think, everything we believe in, conflict is already resolved. A facilitator need not be a spiritual leader to apply this concept of service. Leaders from every field of human endeavor have the potential of helping resolve conflict as they arise. How? Problem-solving potential exists in everyone and can be activated by a shift in perspective. Yes. Problem-solving potential exists in everyone. We are part and parcel. Or as the Christian people with that, just make yourself an instrument. How you should. If you are ready to help, it is not just about ability. It is being a servant to Krishna and allowing Krishna to work. If Krishna will work through everything We work perfectly. Perfect. Perfect. Problem solving, I'm repeating. So make it very clear in our consciousness. We don't need to have position to do that. Yeah, a very big person in my managerial field to do that. I remember once I told one devotee, he doesn't want to, he does not show to me, he didn't prove to me that he ready to do service. The only thing he want me to give him position, I should give him position first. I told him, Prabhu, do you need position before you do service? Service depends on position. Huh? That is a good sign that they're not ready to get. You don't want to position so you can start, want to be empowered so you can perpetrate your shuruk nature. If it is service, you just go on and do service. If you take a broom and sweep here or clean such and such things, so who will tell you no? You're not doing that. You simply want the position. So that you're empowered. Your name is announced, put on a billboard. Now you are the Lord of the universe. They can perpetrate that evil. Do service. Let us see the ability. It is from there your empowerment comes. So this shift can occur whenever someone consciously invokes the idea of being a servant to all life and not the controller or master of it. We have been singing the sins. We are not the masters. We are the servants. And the servant is not the order. It's to accept order and execute it to the base of our ability. This is it. One way facilitators can accomplish this is to remind ourselves of their proper role using this word internally. It should be our meditation while we are doing our service. This is a meditation. This is a sutra. A sutra we should keep in our consciousness. What is that? I am here to serve. And the well-being is my concern. I am here to serve. Your well-being is my concern. Such an attitude helps dissolve barriers and create feelings of cooperation that in turn are helpful in reducing tensions and resolving difficult issues. I don't know if we understand what Buddha is doing. Our child, they have a different, they have a mission and they know how to present. How do you think all of us, how do all of us think? If every one of us have this mentality, if we have this consciousness, I am here to serve. And their well-being is my concern. Such an attitude helps to dissolve barriers and create feelings of cooperation that in turn are helpful in reducing tensions and resolving difficult issues. Again, we see perfect example is the Prabhupada. The Prabhupada preaching in the Western world. I have repeatedly, many times, repeatedly, many times, and I will continue to say, the Prabhupada knows the principle of utility principle. He's perfect in everything. He's perfect in everything. Time, place, circumstances, perfect. A principle of utility. He knows how to use everything for the best, at the best time, for the best person. When Prabhupada went to the West, it was a different culture altogether. It was a different culture altogether. And Prabhupada is coming from a culture where everyone understands men and women should be separate. Men and women should be separate. The butter and fire should not be kept together. Because fire will melt the butter. That is normal. That is normal. Sometimes, like I was telling some devotees, if you put the boy and the girl in a room and after a few months the girl is pregnant, will you be surprised? If you are surprised, you are a fool. It will go that way. That is how it will naturally. Just like if you never see you put iron and magnet and they go opposite, they will naturally come together. That is how it works. So here, Prabhupada is from this culture. I'm going to the West where it is 100% opposite. The Eastern culture. Men and women are together. And here he's coming to teach no illicit sex. All the disciples who have come, they are coming with the boy up there. So tell them to go. This is nonsense. This is illicit. This is not allowed. You cannot go back to Godhead. This is ignorance. Buddha. Who is going to be there with you? So it is a heavy conflict. To the order of the spiritual master to go and preach a philosophy to people who are living life opposite to the philosophy. It's a complete conflict, contradiction. Let's say it's contradiction. So the proper resolve it very nice, very nicely without difficulty. Proper resolve it. Okay, this is a culture here. What to do? And these are my students. They come in, they're hearing. I'm here. There's nothing except what I'm doing. I have to establish the process. What to do? So probably easily resolved because he has the principle. I am here to help. I'm here to serve everyone. I'm here to serve everyone. And your well-being is my concern. Yes. For that attitude, one can easily move ahead in our Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada did this. Resolved very easily. And nobody felt bad about it. Oh, yeah, friends. Okay. You get married. You did wedding. Everything went perfect. It's perfect in everything. So the third item after the 6 is what? Clarify needs. One role of a facilitator is to determine what underlying issues are manifesting in the role in the conflict. What are the main things manifesting this? Make it cosmic. What is the main issue? A devotee has to look at it. Therefore, in order to achieve an agreement that satisfies all sides, a facilitator begins by determining the need of each part, the social as well as the obvious needs. Obvious needs are the concrete things people say they want, such as sums of money or specific terms and conditions. They are usually secondary needs, as described earlier. Subtle needs are the deeply rooted, tangible, intangible motivations, appearing as desires, fears, concerns, and aspirations that lead participants to take the positions they do. These subtle needs are generally universal, primary needs. They are universal needs. universal constitutional, our constitutional needs. That is universal. It is necessary for everyone. We need to drink water. Yes. So maybe I'm angry because in your leadership, there's no pure water, no clean water. That is making us to be angry. Or we don't have a necessary amenities or facilities to keep this body healthy for practicing Christian consciousness and executing ourselves. Very, very. Yes. Yes. So to clarify issues, the facilitator can ask clear and direct questions to identify the desires and motivations of all involved parties, delving beneath the surface to discover the deeper truths. To put questions might be: one, what do you want from this situation? What do you want from this? You want to create eternal enmity with each other in this community? You want to have a situation where you're fighting each other? What do you want from this situation? You want everybody to be afraid of you? What do you want? From the answer, we can clearly understand what is the need. Then we want to understand how to deal with it. Second is, why do you want that? So I'm asking, in this complete period that we are trying to solve, I will need the car. So I need the car. I may not say it because maybe I'm not comfortable, or I don't believe in the people nothing will happen, or I don't see that they have a capacity to do this. But since we have it in mind and we don't disclose it, we may not see the difficulty that may impede this. So by saying it very clear, so because the state will know how to handle it in such a way that everyone benefits. And then last one, what is the basic problem you are trying to solve? What is the basic problem you are trying to solve? What is the basic problem? You really just want to see that people have anxiety. So people are like that. So people are like that. They're not happy seeing people happy. They want to create a situation, a favorable situation. So the question, this good question have to be asked. What is the basic problem you are trying to solve? With these questions in mind and presenting it before the answer to help the facilitator to have a clear understanding of the audience, what the aspiration, the desire, what we will have in mind. It will be easy also to furnish, either to give them advice about the present situation or to provide it. Number four, understand all the points. Understand all the. In order to uncover the intangible motivations of these students, the facilitator can cultivate the ability to understand the situation as they experience it. That means that we have to politely deal with this. Because you may have a situation where the people are not contributing sufficiently to the growth of the community, but they want everything to be given to them, which is not normal. It's not normal. What is normal is that everybody is contributing, therefore there is facility for everybody, and everybody will get something to make the person feel the sense of belonging, that his contribution is significantly and appreciated, and is worked upon for the benefit of all. So it is necessary. One way to, how do we do that? How can I accomplish that? So, whoever answered this. One way to accomplish this is to perform the simple exercise of imagining from their point of view what they care about. The purpose of this, the purpose of identifying the interests, the motivations of each party is to help the facilitator devise creative options that take this into account. Very powerful. This is very powerful. It's really powerful. While it may not be possible to facilitate every concrete need of the participant, it is often possible to reach a solution that fulfills their subtle or primary needs. The fact that the facilitator has probed beneath the surface to discover these deeper, less apparent longings means that a greater range of options has become accessible for everyone for resolving the conflict. Yes. We have perfect examples for this. A perfect example. One is a Bible story. I gave this story some time back. Not quite long. In this our discussion. In this our discussion. Give this example. A good Samaritan. A good leader who has a good mind, who is dealing with everybody for their benefit and resolving everything perfectly for the benefit of everyone. So there's an incident in the community. A lady gave birth to a child. And there was another lady who was desperately in need of a child. And when she saw this her friend getting pregnant, she was very, very envious. So she waited until when her friend delivered the baby, she stole the baby. It took some time to start dressing everything. And they finally got this lady. And she has perfect explanation to prove that she owns the baby. The original mother who owns the baby have a reason to explain her point also that she is the rightful owner of the baby. But because this Mataji was very, very, very adamant in her resolve to get a baby by all means. And if they do not get a baby, the other person should not have also have a baby, so that she wouldn't feel guilty. So the conflict is very heavy, very highly deep, very high. It hit the whole village as came around. So the king, very expert, because he has this mood. My position is to help resolve everything for the benefit of the. And Krishna promised in Bhagavad Gita that if we serve him very nicely, he can give us intelligence and how to come to him, how to do our duty perfectly as is represented. So after hearing from the two ladies, and all of them give perfect reason to claim the child. But the king knows that the baby cannot be for two. But here, humanly speaking, both of them have given perfect. This one gives answer. The other one also gets evidence to prove that. First, then the king devised a means. He said, "Dear mothers, I have no doubt about not being the mother of this child, what of you? But since I don't have the power to discriminate between two of you exactly who owns the baby, what I will do is, and seeing both of you are correct, I have no doubt about what you do. You are all correct. Therefore, what I'm going to do now is that I will divide the baby into half. You take half and she'll take half. The one who is at fault, she shouted, yes, this should be done. Yes, this should be done. Yes. Yes, the king. You are the best. You're the best. But the other lady, she said, no, please don't do that. Don't do it. No, you should do it. You should divide it. This is the way to solve the problem. Divide the baby. So I have my own. See how in this way we are satisfied. The original mother of the baby shouted, she cried, please, whatever it is, don't tear the baby. Because if you divide the baby into two, and the other one wants to punish that lady. So she agrees to let him and calling the king different glorious names, so the king will be very, very happy to side with him. So the king said, I will divide the baby. The imposter said, yes, do this. The rumor said, no. Immediately, everybody yelled, yeah. The king really intelligent. He resolving it. Everybody started jai, that this is the woman, the original mother of the baby. This is an imposter. They drove her away. Everybody understood the game the king played. And he perfectly resolved it. And this way, the original mother got back her baby. Another mother, she also felt bad that she has attempted to destroy someone. Because the king came in perfectly and everything was nicely resolved. And even till now, the story is very, very fresh. And if you look very carefully, we'll see some examples that fit into this story. And in particular is resolving the conflict in such a way that anybody can. I want to have a perfect example of a parallel man, Hassan. Sutta, Ramahasana Sutta. In Amesharana, he was speaking about being appointed by the sages who were there. It was really powerful, that's just it. So Balaram saw Ramahasana sitting on the asana preaching. The etiquette is that one should not get down from the asana or offer patience to somebody when they're asking. When they're not there, it's okay. But when they're there, it's not okay. But this principle does not apply to this one spiritual master. It does not apply to the supreme principle. Ramahana and Shuddha did not follow the teachings of Balaram was angry. I came here to set the proper standard by removing all unnecessary elements. And here is a very bad element. It's a disgrace to a spiritual master because the Guru trained him perfectly. So yesterday, trained him, but he does not represent the spiritual. I cannot accept this. If he's a fool, it's okay. But I've been trained. So he has to be proper like this. But I'm killing. The sages became worried. You are the supreme personality of God. They say we cannot judge their action wrong. And at the same time, we have invested this man with the power to preach for us. So now that it has been killed, we cannot say what you did for the equation. Neither are we continue with our Jagya, our puja. So we don't know what to do. Yet the supreme and have to do something. The Lama said, I will bring back the Master Campus. He said, no one can go against it. Everything is perfect. Everything is perfect. But this is our dilemma. This is our conflict. Please help us to resolve it. So Balaram said, okay, because it's a Brahmana, I will help you kill the demon who always come here to disable you. So in this way, I will atone for that. And also the son is as good as I will invoke the son to take over the son. All the benediction we have given to him, we transfer to the son. So I must say, Balaram, he did that. And he put the spirit of son to continue to serve the sages. So everything was perfectly resolved. Everybody benefited. Ram Hassan was benefited, the son benefited, the sages benefited, the demon also benefited because of that. But I'm feeling somebody give the expectation. Give the person the expectation. So we move to the next item, move towards cooperative problem solving. Yeah. How? Effective facilitators see all individuals as part of the same God. Yeah, it's a principle. It's a principle. We have mentioned many times to unite, we must understand who we are. As part of the Christian. For that Christian, the question we should approach Christian master to give us this knowledge because he has the realization, so he can give us. So a facilitator must understand that I'm dealing with Christians part of the pastors who are very dear to him. Therefore, I should be very careful because the way I deal with them, it will also reflect on my own progress in Christian. As such, disputants share similar primary needs. Facilitators committed to this idea can easily find ways to demonstrate to all parties. And not only are they actually asking for the same thing using different expressions, but that as it is helped, the others will benefit. The turning point in conflict resolution often occurs here when the participants discover common ground and can then move from opposing positions to shared problem solving. The turning point in conflict resolution often occurs here when the participants discover common ground and can then move from opposing position to shared problem solving. We should know that we are all spiritual. We should know that we are all children. We should know what is good for me. What is good for me? We should know what is bad for me. But everyone should know this. We should be very, very convinced about this. Therefore, our participation will be very, very, very useful because now we have a common goal. What is that? What is good for me is good. If I have pain, if I'm happy, this is natural. Therefore, we follow the principle. And everything will become very, very powerful, very, very useful. Very useful in our conflict resolution. 6. Express divine love and will. As mentioned earlier in this book, every interaction can be viewed as either an act of extending love or as a call for love. A facilitator can try to view each conflict from this perspective, examining whether disputants are offering love or requesting for it. Very, very important. Very important. This morning we are discussing with the Bhakti Dhira student. The principle which Krishna set down that melted the heart of the Brahman. Krishna did not use the same measure with him. Krishna used a higher measure. We don't pay evil with evil. This is the teachings of Buddha. We don't pay evil with evil. We pay evil with goodness, with kindness, with trust, with love, with compassion. When that is gone, automatically the person involved will be melted. The heart will melt. The heart will melt. And when we act in such a way that we are melting the heart of that person, it doesn't matter how that person has reacted to us. So maybe the person is very angry with us. We don't have to respond the same anger. Why? Because the person is calling for love or is giving love. How is he calling for love? Because, why am I angry? Because I need the help. I am not giving me. I need help. Maybe I'm angry. That's a call. It's a call for love. And it's the giving of love. How is it a giving? Because you are doing something wrong which is not going to help in a Christian concept. I'm angry. It's a giving of love. So it's not bad. Therefore, we should not respond to situation with the same measure. We should have to respond to situation with a higher measure. For that, we need to take our Christian concept very seriously. Our spiritual discipline, sadhana, carefully done. Carefully. Have to be carefully done. A good experience. The facilitator can try to view this conflict from this perspective, examining whether disputants are offering love or requesting it. Ultimately, all conflicts are derived from feelings of lack and dissatisfaction. Yes, that is true. Which in turn find their source in the belief that one is separated from God. Therefore, true satisfaction comes from placing the Supreme and experiencing a spiritual connection. Very good, spiritual connection. Once a facilitator has established areas of agreement and disagreement between disputants, the next step is often to ask them what will be the highest good that made from the situation. What God will have each one think and do to attain the highest good. See, if we have an issue with each other. So we should look at it. How will my spiritual master feel about this? How will he like us to deal with this? Huh? The sincere disciples will have this in mind. So this issue, how will my spiritual master deal with it? How will he deal with it? Will he cut off their head and throw them away? Will he drive them away for eternity? Huh? How will he do it? Would he talk to them, chastise them, and call them to action, and set them right, make them understand what is lacking? Or just abandon everything and just go away because I'm too important in this place? Nonsense. I don't need to waste my time with them. How will he deal with it? This should be applied. It should be applied. The facilitator has the responsibility to solve it. So we saw how Lord Krishna handled the Brahma in a very without anger, no resentment. Lord Krishna handled him perfectly. And because the way Krishna handled the situation was so powerful, so full of love and compassion, the Brahma was affected. He became ashamed of his offenses. And he begged for forgiveness. And he repented from his activities. In this way, the conflict was perfectly resolved without difficulty, no difficulty. Brahma was satisfied how Krishna resolved the issue perfectly. So nice. We also have an example. Have another example of a conflict between Daksha and the moon god. The moon god married the daughters of Daksha. And he became attracted to one of the girls and neglected the remaining one, although they are all sisters. So they went to complain to their father, see, our husband is not taking care. We are just here as wife for name. He's only concerned with only one of us. He doesn't take care of us, he doesn't care for us. There's nothing. We are really suffering. So Daksha went to him and warned him and went to curse you. And he cursed him. Half of his body became sick. So the moon god cried and went to Lord Shiva for solution. Lord Shiva said, oh, don't worry about that. Stay here with me. So that the curse on the head will not have effect. So Lord Shiva kept the moon god with him. So for a long time, they didn't see their husband again. So they went back to the father and complained. Before, our husband was not taking care of us, but he was there. You can see him every day. But now, we don't see him again. Zero. So Daksha became very, very, very angry and was looking for him. He searched for him until he finally saw him with Lord Shiva. That also infuriated him because Lord Shiva is the last person he wanted to see. Very envious Lord Shiva. So he was very angry and challenged Lord Shiva. I will curse you also. You don't return my son-in-law. Return my son-in-law. I thought I was to curse you. Lord Shiva said, see, the person who has taken my shelter, I cannot give up on that person. I cannot give up on that person. I will not give up on that person. Better you curse me. And Daksha was ready to curse Shiva. So Krishna came. But Krishna said, my dear Shiva, why would I allow this man to say? Give him his son-in-law to Lord Shiva said, my Lord, a person took my shelter. Is it proper to abandon the one who has taken shelter? What did you say in Lord? We should surrender all unto you. And you make us free. You make us free. So the person surrender to you. How can they give up on him? Seeing the situation, seeing the dispute, the conflict between Lord Shiva, the moon god, and Daksha, Lord Krishna came in. as a perfect conflict resolution director, supreme facilitator. So Christian said, okay, for sure, the curse on Son Mongo is there. It's not sin because it's what you have absorbed that. So what to do is just divide it into half. The good one, so you keep that. And the sick one, give back to him, to that side. So he'll be free, he'll be happy. So Loshiwa did that. He divided the money God into half. The sick one he gave to Daksha, and the healthy one he put it on his head. You have that happen. So in this way, the conflict between them was perfectly resolved, and everybody was very happy. Okay, now we are moving on to number 9 of this issue. Not the material process. Not the material process. Not the material process. The success or failure of the conflict resolution process ultimately depends upon the effectiveness of the facilitator. When a facilitator approaches conflict resolution and problem solving from a limited perspective, only limited results are possible. And if you approach it from an unlimited perspective, we also have unlimited results. When we are taking it from the material perspective, we are failing. When we take it from the spiritual perspective, we are success. We already discussed the facilitators who center everything on Krishna. Therefore, someone who relates to problem solving from a solely material viewpoint is not capable of the same type of comprehensive thinking demonstrated by a God-conscious person. Yes. Because a material approach ignores the deeper, more eternal values of life. That is perfect. That is correct. We cannot solve the material problem with material solution. It is not possible because the material thing falls short of the potency to help resolve anything. Clearly, it is a mistake to believe that material problems can only be solved by material means. Consequently, problems need to be resolved from a higher or deeper level than the one at which they initially appear, particularly those that appear inattractive. As mentioned earlier, material solutions cannot comprehensively meet all the given needs in the solution because ultimately an important element of each problem is spiritual. Therefore, we need a spiritual insights to resolve all material problems. When spiritual needs are ignored, suffering will result. This is a big mistake people are doing in the material world here. We want to use material facility to solve our material problems. It will never work like that. It will never work like that. If you want to heat water, you need fire. You can't heat water with water. If you want to put off fire, you need water. You cannot use fire to put fire off. You need water. If you want to heat water, you need fire, not water. If you use water, you cannot heat it. Because it's limited. Material things are limited. Spiritual thing is taking shelter of Krishna, and with the potency, everything resolves. When we take shelter of Krishna, the potency comes. Everything is perfectly resolved. Because material thing depends on spiritual things. Every material thing is important only because of the connection with the spiritual. So this will be clearly understood. Therefore, every conflict is an opportunity for those where spiritual needs are ignored. Suffering is the result. Therefore, every conflict is an opportunity for those involved. One, to unravel selfish desires. Two, invoking the highest good for all. And three, placing God's will ahead of all of their own. This principle is to unravel selfish desires, invoking the highest good for all, and placing God's will ahead of their own. This is the process, the principle that should be followed. How human beings approach conflict at this time in history will determine the future of this planet. We have example how Arjuna approached Krishna and gave Bhagavad Gita for the benefit of everyone. So the problem was not limited. The problem was universal. It's universal. The solution is not universal. So we saw Masugadev Goswami and Parashit Maharaj and the sages, the Sutra Goswami and the sages of Rameshana. We saw verses Maitreya Muni and Vidura. The question by Vidura was so strong, the desire was so strong that Maitreya Muni fainted unconscious. When they regained consciousness, he glorified Vidura. The questions you asked me, very good for you, very good for me, and it's good for everybody. Because the answer to this question is a solution for everyone. It's a universal question. It's a universal solution. It's not limited to you and me. It is for all. The same thing. Arjuna was put in a situation that helped us to be a channel by which Krishna can give the world our data to have and for eternity. Therefore, make a constructive choice to work with conflict as a means of conscious evolution. Facing differences with courage, honesty, compassion, and firm resolve. Conflicts that remain hidden can fester and become negative forces, causing even greater problems later on. On the other hand, when they are confronted, understood, and resolved, the same conflict can become powerful sources of creativity and growth. No matter what your responsibilities are as a leader, you can learn not to fear conflict. Instead, welcoming the rich learning that they contain for everyone is willing to dig enough to unearth the treasure. Conflict then becomes a means of clearing away obstacles. On the way back to the and Krishna dealt with Arjuna's fear in a very perfect and powerful, potent way, that his fear was removed, destroyed permanently, for eternity. Hare Krishna. I don't know if there are questions or comments, so we'd like to look at it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Srila Gurudev. Thank you very much. if there are any questions by devotees, they can probably raise their hand and we will invite them for asking their questions. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. If there are any questions, please raise your hand or you can send us in the chat and we will ask these questions. And or we will invite you for the session for asking your questions. Srila Gurudev, meanwhile we wait for devotees, I have a question which I wanted to ask. May I ask the question?
Yes, please ask a question. This is a time for questions.
Yes. So my question is, you mentioned that whenever we are faced with anger by somebody, we should not respond in an angry way. We should we should be looking at them, identifying whether it is a call for love. So Gurudev, it is very strong tendency in me to lose my cool when somebody is blaming me, pointing at me, and becoming angry at me. I really revolt and sometimes blast at them. I really feel bad after that, but how do I really understand how to get out of this conditioning?
Means you have not properly learned the principle. It is not clearly understood that the anger that we get from people is two ways. It's a call for love or it's giving of love. So somebody is saying, oh, see, you did this, you did this, you did this. This is nonsense. That is a call for love. Because a person wants you to do better. So it's a call for love. Yet the person does not hate you. The way the person presented it looked like that. But that's a call for love. The person is requesting you should do better. So we should look at it like, oh, this person cared for me. So the best thing would have been, oh, I'm sorry, sir. So what is the best way? What is the best way you think I can do this? When you do like this, you will see the transformation that will take place for you and not just. You will see it. Because you have helped the person to grow, you yourself will grow. But when we respond negatively, the person is not going to grow and we are not going to grow. Because we didn't help the person to grow, we will not grow.
Yes, Gurudev.
Therefore, we should not look at things negatively. Yes, it will look like that, but assumption is something different. So now we know that this is a situation. So we should have a different response, a different approach to whatever confrontations you may have. Oh, my dear, thank you very much for the correction. How will you want me to do this next time?
Okay.
You see, the person's voice will not be high again, the voice will come down. Or you didn't respond at that time. When the person's voice has come down, then you can go and leave the person. say, I'm sorry, this, you see the reaction. The relation between you and the person will automatically change. Because we have helped somebody, Krishna will help you. That is natural. The people who are helping people, you don't see them depressed or despondent or wanting or in need of anything. They are always cared of by Krishna. Krishna always caring for the body, but he will give personal attention. All right.
Yes, Gurudev. Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much, Gurudev. I'll take care of this. And Gurudev, we have Vrajlakshmi Mataji. She has a question she wants to ask. So we would like to invite her. Vrajlakshmi Mataji.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam, everyone. Jai Shri Gurudev. I would like to know, when we start to glorify everybody, is it the same process than Krishna will take care of us also? And if we glorify him, we don't have to have fear about tomorrow and material condition?
If you glorify devotee?
Yes, when we pass our time to learn and to glorify, is it then everything will be taken in charge by Krishna in the future?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, glorify devotee.
And Krishna.
That's good. So appreciate devotees. Krishna will be happy with us.
Yes. Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Shakti Brother Mataji asked a question. It's a question from Shakti Brother Mataji.
Gurudev, she must have sent personally to you. It is not visible here.
You should send it to the, because I cannot see now because we are here. Everybody will benefit from the question.
Yes, Gurudev. Gurudev, we also have two devotees raising their hands. Can we invite them?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes. Amit Prabhu, he has a question.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. So I just had one comment. So like, from what I learned the most from this session, so it was the point that every interaction can be viewed either as an act of extending love or as a call for love. So as you also mentioned to Aishwarya Prabhuji, that we many times misunderstand it, and it might be a call of love, but we many times misunderstand it, and that I also mistake it sometimes when I am interacting with my parents. So this point like hit me hard, because it was very when we look deep into this, we try to understand any interaction, let's say with our parents only, so we can understand that it could be a call of love, or maybe they are trying to extend their love. So maybe this I don't look, maybe this I neglect, and I respond in a way that is that is not acceptable. So maybe I can start looking in this way, that it could be either a call for love, or maybe an act of extending love. So this was the point I loved about this session very much.
All right, thank you for understanding us.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Now we want you to apply that and
yes, Maharaj,
to see a difference
yes.
in dealing with your parents and everyone else.
Yes, Maharaj, certainly.
Thank you very much for that.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We have a question from Bhakti George Amega Prabhu. Prabhuji, we would like to invite you.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you very much for the lecture. I would like to know, so at what point can conflict be solved by retaliation? But it seems that whenever there is a conflict and it is up to be so bad, then the other opponent, they do advantage over you. So at what point can conflict be resolved by retaliation? That's my question.
And the question is not clear. Maybe you should type it because our network was cracking all through. That voice was cracking all through. So maybe you should type it.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah.
Type it and send.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. We have a question from Venkatesh Prabhu. So Venkatesh Prabhu is asking, he's saying,
Yes, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Yes, Hare Krishna Maharaj. We have a question from Venkatesh Prabhu. He's telling Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for explaining principles of leadership. It is said that in early days of ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada had to make leaders who knew that they will not stay, they will fail. Still, that was the need. Is that correct, Maharaj? What is the proper understanding, Maharaj? This is a question from Venkatesh Prabhu.
Srila Prabhupada was not sure he is going to complete the most things he has to do. So it was an emergency. So yes, he gave a initiation, even sannyas initiation to many people for many reasons. Mostly not for spiritual reasons, mostly. For example, a disciple came to Prabhupada and told him, give me sannyas. Prabhupada said, yes, I'll give you sannyas. And he gave him sannyas. He was married. So he gave him the sannyas. He didn't succeed, he fell down. Why Prabhupada did that? He knew that this person is very offensive, going to commit offense. So better put him where he would do less offense. And it will be good for him. He's going to make offense anyway. So Prabhupada put him in a situation that the offense will be less. That is his kindness. He did that. It's not a standard for us, but that is an acharya. And many things like that. See, it's an emergency. Even when he was compiling, he was giving people to Bhagavatam. I have from His Grace, Gurujan Prabhu, that he properly put the whole 12 canto Bhagavatam into the 3 cantos of Bhagavatam. And he also paraphrased the 3 cantos into 1 canto, the first canto of Bhagavatam, because he was not sure he was going to live until he finished the whole 12 canto. But he did up to 10. Some part of some part of 10. So part of 10, 11, 12, the disciple did. That was his costliness, his compassion, and his foresight, because he saw everything. He saw everything, so he was working for that, and he succeeded in doing so many things because of his competency and spiritual side. Yes.
Yes, thank you, Gurudev, for your answer. We have question from Sakhi Vrinda Mataji. She's asking, Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, very often we have difficult non-devotee managers and they derive pleasure by giving trouble. I did try it once by telling her a sorry. She took it as I am weak, and next time she was even more difficult.
That's all right. That's all right. They will feel like that. The humility in Kali Yuga is considered to be weakness. They are considered to be a useless person. And it's okay. That's okay. We don't have to worry for that. But Krishna will not see us like that. Our child, they won't see us like that. We don't have to allow people to affect us by their sinful life. We have to affect people by our own spiritual potency. So whatever they consider, that is a problem. But we should do what is right. Always. For everybody. That way we will make progress. We shouldn't be affected by what they do. They will pay for their nonsense. Even not even in among devotees, you see the same thing is there that this person is a fool, yes, weak. So whatever you do, the person will overlook. That is okay. That's all right. Let us always do what is right. The benefit is ours and not theirs. What they do, they are going to pay for it. What we do, we are going to get the result. All right?
Yes, thank you, Shila Gurudev. We have a question from George Prabhu. Um, he's saying, at what point can a conflict be solved by paying the person back? Because it looks like whenever there is a conflict, and you always like to solve it in a very diplomatic way. So we sound foolish to the opponent and take due advantage.
It's similar to what Saki Vinda has just said, that we want to solve a conflict by diplomatic way. Diplomatic way means it is not the best way. It's not the best way. We have really looked at the qualities, the qualification for facilitator. And as a devotee leader, we have the responsibility. I would have mentioned that we don't need to be a leader to do that. We simply have to offer ourselves to be an instrument. Then Krishna will use us to resolve things. If you have a genuine desire to do something, even if it is taken by other people, Krishna will bless us for that. So we should not change. Rather, we should help change people to Krishna. We should not change to follow them. But they are carrying, they don't know anything. So we should not change to follow their style. We should make them pretend to follow our style. So in the beginning, it will look like, okay, I do this, and the person is taking me as a fool, treating me blah, blah, blah. So I should change and behave like that. And that is a failure. If we remain what we are, eventually they will change and follow us. That's a fact. All right?
Okay, thank you, Gurudev. I don't think so we have any more questions.
All right. Thank everybody for participating. Praying that we will use everything that we are getting and become better at good things in our life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shila Gurudev. Thank you very much for giving your time and guiding us with so many wonderful lessons today. We certainly have a lot of things to improve in all of our lives, and all the points that you have mentioned with regards to the um, resolution of conflicts, uh, specifically when you started with importance of invoking blessings and understanding the viewpoints, clarifications of the needs, expressing divine love and will. And you mentioned that when spiritual needs are ignored, suffering is the result. All these points were very, very connecting. Thank you so much, Maharaj. Thank you for your time, and we hope to see you. We hope to have your association again very, very soon.
Hare Krishna. Swarupa ki jai. Swarupa ki jai.
Jai.
Gaura Bhakti ki jai.
Srila Bhakti Dhira Damodara Swami Maharaj ki jai.
Thank you, Maharaj.